is happening, fellow fantasy GMs? I am JJ Wang. He is the bearded one, DJ Dub. And with our powers combined, we are the Fantasy Couriers.
Week 11. I kind of wish I was in Buffalo right now, getting ready to build a snowman. Oh, it'd be great.
Well, I could go without a snowman. It's not that big of a deal. I've built plenty in my life. I don't need to build anymore.
It'd be magnificent, except for the fact that as a teacher up in Buffalo, I'd have to go to work. So it wouldn't be as rewarding as a teacher in Virginia. If they think snow, I get to stay home. So that's and the good news is they just canceled an entire segment that I was going to have to do because Buffalo just announced they are moving the game to Detroit. And I don't know about you, but that makes me very excited for our Josh Allen starts because now he's on a fast field.
Yeah, playing on turf. Nice, 70 degrees in there, just chucking it all over the place. Hope so, because Josh Allen's been playing like doo-doo lately. I mean, he's still putting up decent numbers.
Yeah,
but he has more interceptions than touchdowns. I think he leads the league in interceptions or some crazy. I think he has 10 or 11. He's got 10 or 11 interceptions, 6 in the last 3 weeks. I mean, he's still putting up decent numbers, but get rid of those interceptions.
Yeah, and it's because I was going to talk about the old Detroit Philly game from 2013. Remember the couple of that snow game where it was amazing, where they still put up almost each quarterback put up 175 yards, and then what's his name from the Eagles ran for 215 yards. LaShawn McCoy had 217 yards and 2 touchdowns. I was don't play. It's I'm not playing anybody there. No LaShawn McCoy. Then he goes berserk. But yeah, hey, we're the Fantasy Couriers. Welcome to the show. We hope you're on here because you know who we are. I don't have to say anything in secret, but you can hit us up. You got questions, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all the good places. Take a moment. If you're looking at our handsome faces here on YouTube, go up there, click that little subscribe button, click the follow button. You'll get a little bell pop up. I don't know where it is. You'll see it. It's there. And then you get us to pop up. You don't have to wait and look for us because you'll get a notification. Same thing on all of your podcast providers. Click the like button and you'll get notifications. Google sends me something every week. Hey, there's a new Fantasy Couriers episode. Do it. Hit it. We are steadily growing in YouTube subscribers. So apparently people are listening to us there from the links. My wonderful rankings, which are terrible but wonderful, because I think I'm better deeper than early ranking guys, because all you got to do is get them out of order and it messes up your rating. But my deeper guys are pretty good. But they're on the website as well as links to everything. So let's get at it.
Sure.
Cooper Kupp, man. Cooper Kupp hit the IR. Do you have any Cooper Kupps?
I do not. I do not own any Cooper Kupp. I mean, before yesterday, I was, you're upset that you don't, but now you're I'm glad I don't own any Cooper Kupp. This is one of the worst times to get hurt, right? Home stretch, probably going to miss all maybe the rest of the season, but pretty much the fantasy season. I mean, he's putting up 20 points. You can't replace 20 points a game at this point in the season. Trade deadline. Well, some trade deadlines are still open. So you might be able to make a move there, but it's hard at this point. So that's unfortunate.
Van Jefferson or Allen Robinson, who's going to benefit the most from that?
I'll say Allen Robinson.
Nobody, because they're terrible, probably, right?
That is true too. That's also an option.
That's a devastating injury for a bunch of people in Dynasty. Maybe this is the time you sneak him up because, he's going to be, 30 next year? Or is he 27, 20? He's late 20s.
He's going to be close to that age.
So that'll be an interesting takeover for next year. So let's start out by looking at our top guys from last week and who you think's going to drop like a rock and who might stay up here with the power top. So we got our top. I'm going to do top 6 quarterbacks because number 3 is on a bye this week. Top 6 quarterbacks last week were Justin Fields once again. Apparently you can repeat putting up a boat ton of points. Justin Fields had 40. Patrick Mahomes had 32. Then it drops all the way down to our 20s, guys. Tua, Jalen Hurts, Matt Ryan, and Josh Allen was number 6, even with those interceptions and whatnot. I put 6 because 2 was on bye this week. Fields, Mahomes, Hurts, Ryan, and Allen. Which one of those guys is most likely to drop like a lead balloon? This is easy, right?
It's pretty odd. Matt Ryan is not going to be there. I mean, because all the other ones were there last week, and I feel like they were probably there the week before. They'll probably be there next week. And then you get a random up in there like Matt Ryan. So I would assume Matt Ryan's not staying in the top 5.
How far would he drop? Is the confidence from Saturday going to give him a better end of the year? Could it be that as I was touting for Frank Reich to be gone earlier in the year, could it be that the new blood will help him having a healthy Taylor help?
I mean, it's possible, but I mean, I feel like five of those points came on that 49-yard run or 60-yard run that he had. So I'm pretty sure Matt Ryan's not getting 60 rushing yards every week. Pretty much
How much?
guarantee that.
17 points.
Yes, and so I mean, he's probably down there around like Mac Jones territory. I mean, he
Ooh,
could
Mac
be
Jones.
20, 21, 22, 23, 20 down there at the end. I mean, I feel like you could start him, but I wouldn't expect much from him.
Super flex starter. Okay. Is there anybody who had a poo of a week that you can like? I'm trying to think. I should put a chart on there for that. That had a poo of a week that might this week jump back in there for the to take
Oh
over.
man, I have no idea. I am not prepared for that, man.
And say Andy Dalton. What about bringing him back? He's playing the Rams this week.
I mean, I guess like I said, I feel like Andy Dalton and Matt Ryan are probably like around the same that same person. I mean, 16, 17, 18 points. Can they get you 20, 23? Sure, I'm sure they can, but it's tough.
What about Mariota? Mariota could be the guy that sneaks up in there because he got the Bears this week.
Oh, Mario definitely can be that guy. He's been that guy all year, and then the next week he pops off for like 2 or 3 points. So I mean, like it's just if he's running the ball, but he just doesn't. It's like Justin Fields. If he's not running the ball effectively or for a lot, he's not going to be worth all that much.
Against those two teams, they could run a lot. Okay, top five running backs got six because why did I put seven in there? Because I put too many. Because Jeff Wilson was number six. So we got Jonathan Taylor, Aaron Jones, Saquon Barkley, James Conner, Dalvin Cook, and somehow Wilson got put Wilson, and then Pollard is in there. Which one of those guys? Because Wilson's on bias here is gonna drop like a rock.
I would say James Conner because he's got to get the. I mean, it's touchdown dependent. He's got to get those 2 touchdowns, or if he doesn't get those 2 touchdowns, we got 10 points. Because I mean, he's going to get 60 yards rushing on 25 carries probably because he dropped Benjamin or Benjamin. I think it's Benjamin. So I mean, it speaks well for that my boy Keontae Ingram. I mean, if got rid of Benjamin, he's pretty much the backup at this point. He probably not going to get a lot of carries because James Conner seems to get every touch. But it is James Conner. He could get injured at any moment. So I would say James Conner would be the one that would fall out.
What about Tony Pollard with Zeke practicing? What do you think what's going to happen to him once they come back? Will Tony Pollard come back to earth? Will it
Well,
be
yeah, I'm sure he's not going to get he's obviously not going to get the full workload. I mean, they're still going to give the ball to Zeke, which hurts him a lot. I mean, that probably just puts him back in the territory where they were both at before because I don't see Jerry Jones being like, hey, play Pollard more and not Zeke. I just don't think that's how it goes. And it just goes back. He's more of a flex. Tony Pollard's a flex now instead of an RB1 or two.
Ramondre, is he a name to jump right up here in this top five now that he's back playing this week?
Oh God, I hope so. I just traded for him, so God, I hope so. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, but it's the same kind of thing. It depends on how much of the work Damian Harris is going to be. He got 11 carries in the game back. He didn't get very many yards, but over his career, Damian Harris is a 5 yard per carry guy. Bill Belichick seems to have liked him. They say he's got 11 carries, so it's not like he's completely out of the situation. But Ramondre's pretty proven at this point, I feel like.
What are the possibilities that number 5 and 6 this week could be Eli Mitchell and Christian McCaffrey?
I don't think that's a possibility. I don't think.
Chances that Eli Mitchell has more fantasy points than Christian McCaffrey percentage out of 100%.
I'd say it's like 25%. I still think like the overall, if you add in the overall workload, Chris McCaffrey, still gets the goal line carries. So I think Eli Mitchell's just that yards guy.
Okay, receivers, finally. Who would have thought? CD Lamb, number 1, Christian Watson, number 2, Justin Jefferson, Christian Kirk, and Nick Westbrook-Ikhine. Can we basically just say everybody but CD and Justin Jefferson probably will fall off this list this week? So let's try it the other way. Christian Watson, Christian Kirk, or Nick Ikhine Westbrook. Which one of those three has the best chance of still being in the top 5 next week?
I think Christian Kirk at probably the first choice because I mean he's been there I don't want to say he's been there all year, but I mean he's been at the top all year. I mean he's a top 12 wide receiver, I do believe. So Christian Watson, I mean, I don't know. I'm pretty sure he's not going to get 3 bomb touchdowns again, but I mean we don't know. He was wide open on those, so we'll see. I mean, I still don't see Christian Watson being up here again though.
And you got like missing names are Stephon Diggs, AJ Brown are not in there. Olave probably has popped up and down in there throughout the season as well. So those are some names that could pop up in there as we are going through. And the Charger receivers coming back. Tight ends, your favorite? Cole Kmet, Travis Kelce, Dalton Schultz, Jawan Johnson, and Foster Moreau. I could see all 5 of these guys right here this week because it is tight ends.
I could see all 5 of them returning, but Foster Moreau would probably be the one at this point I would trust the least. But like I said, it's tight end. I mean, all 5 of these guys could very well not be on the list. In fact, some random 5 tight ends would be on there. But the way Cole Kmet and Travis Kelce are playing at the moment, I mean, they're getting the bulk of the workload, obviously, for their teams. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the same guys every week.
I hate I got to root against Cole Kmet because you have him this week, so it just makes me
glad I got him this week. It was like guys looked out on that.
I got to win that game, man. It's just the way things.
I got to win that game.
We both got to win that game. Is the problem? Start and sit. Who are you gonna start? Who are you gonna sit? Let's find out. So we got a couple of Facebook questions here. Salvador says, I need a flex at a 0.5 PPR. Lazard, Montgomery, Brian Robinson, or Devonta Smith.
So would you pronounce that Salvatore or Salvatore?
I like Salvatore. My Spanish is slacking. So can you roll your R's? I'm not his last name because we're online, but he's got 2 R's in his last name. So I wish I could roll my R's. I love hearing that.
Yeah, I'm interested in that.
No accent though. I don't know.
Well, maybe he just didn't put it on there or you just didn't put it on there, or he doesn't normally.
Straight from Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I'd be interested in seeing how you pronounce that. Salvatore. That sounds kind of cool. But anyway, yeah, go ahead.
Salvatore. Pop on the message, and we'll give you another shout out over on Monday. Right. Like, hey, Salvatore, how did it work out? So Lazard, Montgomery, he's kind of mad because Montgomery sort of pooed the bed every time he played him. Brad Robinson, who got a good push on Monday, or Devonta Smith, who did get a touchdown.
I'm going to have to go with Montgomery here. I mean, he's going to be pretty much the guy and the best running team in the league, right? I mean, Ebner guy. I mean, he'll be okay. He'll come in from here and there, catch a pass, maybe run a ball. But when Montgomery's been the guy, I mean, he's not great, but as a flex option, he still can catch the ball. I think he's probably the safest out of all these guys.
Yeah, my standard answer a lot of times is if you're looking at flex and it's really close and you don't know, always pick a running back that touches the ball, regardless if they're on the Bears or if they're on if they're on a terrible team because they touch the ball. And he's a
3-down back right. He's a 3-down back right now.
Oh yeah, I should have put that in the IR. Khalil Herbert, by the way, everybody, is on the IR, so he's out 4 weeks at the minimum, and that makes JJ Wang mentioned Tristan Ebner. So waivers have passed. You probably picked him up. I got snaked a couple of times on him. I had him on all my teams at the beginning of the year. Oops.
I think he's going to get the ball a lot.
Ebner?
No, Montgomery. I mean, he might not have like 150 yards, but I mean, if he's getting the ball at 20, rushing the ball 20 times a game and getting 80, 90 yards and all the touchdown opportunities or goal line opportunities, I mean, I think there's a possibility here. Now, don't get me wrong, he's crapped on me plenty of times before too. But, I mean, I feel like he's pretty safe.
Okay. Corey, or is that Corey?
Correct.
Corey, how long will this joke run? Corey, he's got 9 PPR, and it's Williams from the Detroit Lions, I'm assuming, or Gibson from the Commanders. And
this is not PPR. This is easy. I mean, this is Jamal Williams all the way because literally Brian Robinson had like 25 carries last week. So I mean, he didn't do a lot with them, but like if he's getting that many carries, the only way Gibson is making his hay is probably in the passing game or getting a touchdown. And Jamal Williams always scored touchdowns. So I think he's a little safer there. I think he leads the league in touchdowns. I could be wrong, but
he was up there. I don't know if he went up or down over the week. I haven't looked at it, but I believe you might be right. He was tied at one point, I believe. Josh, I already answered your question. He was asking, should I play Josh Allen this week? I mean, even in the blizzard, I was still playing Josh Allen because he can run. So if Josh Allen's got a blizzard, you play him. If Josh Allen has a dome, you really play him.
But I will say, early in that game last week, they were giving a lot of those short carries, the goal line carries to Devin to Devin
I
Singletary.
know.
So that's going to hurt a lot too. They don't want him to take as many hits.
Oh,
So
he was
those
taking
goal
hits
line,
though.
yeah, but not as many. He wasn't taking those big goal line hits by those big, those linemen just pounding it in there over and over. So let's be careful about that as well. But it's still Josh Allen starting in mid range.
Yeah. Forrest is asking, Thielen, Josh Palmer, Gabriel Davis, Kadarius Toney, Slayton, and Mike Williams. They got a ton of people on his team. So once again, Thielen, Palmer, Davis, Toney, Slayton, Williams. He's got to start three. Right now, he's tending to be thinking Toney, Williams, and Gabe Davis. Is that the right move?
I think that's the right move. I mean, Tony and looked decent last week with Mahomes. I mean, there might even get more opportunity now. I think Gabe Davis is still better than Josh Palmer and Adam Thielen. Neither one of those have been. Josh Palmer's okay, but I think that Davis always has the higher ceiling. And you said Mike Williams if he plays. Yeah, Mike Williams if he plays, that's probably who I'd go with. But he
If Mike
probably
Williams
wins.
doesn't play, do you play Slayton, Palmer, or Thielen?
I'd probably go Palmer. Probably.
Slayton's the new hotness.
Slayton, Slayton is, but he caught like a 70-yard bomb for a touchdown. I mean, that helps out. That helps out
more than Palmer caught. He can't catch two.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But over the last few weeks, Palmer is at least he is giving you points. I mean, he's giving you a floor. He's not like killing. He's not giving you like 1 point.
Derek, I'm going to apologize because I'm just going to laugh. You're going to laugh when you hear this one. Do I start Jefferson or Kupp this week? We're going to say Jefferson and move on. I feel sorry for him. I didn't want to bust his chops too much. There's a couple guys that are just busting his chops on the board. Cooper
So why
Kupp
would he
not playing
so
football.
why would he start Jefferson over Kupp if say Kupp so he's asking if Kupp wasn't in? Why are you starting? You would start both of those guys, right?
Unless you're starting one, I don't know. Maybe it's to start one receiver, one running back, and all those running backs are the top 5 running backs.
Oh, I mean, maybe I'm just wondering. That's yeah. Like I would even.
What do you think?
So if I was in that situation, I had to start Jefferson or Kupp. Say Kupp was healthy, I would go Jefferson over Kupp.
Yeah, that's how we were drafting too. That's why they're on the rankings at the beginning of the year. Keith said, Freiermuth, Higbee, or Komet at tight end. I love Keith's my man. Tight end question.
You got to ride the wave and keep going with
don't
Komet.
say it because I'm going to say it too, and I don't want to.
Oh, go ahead.
Go Komet.
Oh yeah, I mean you got to start. I mean, he's just been on fire lately. I mean, you got to start him at this point. Freiermuth is okay. Higbee, God, Lord knows what that's going to turn out. But Kupp is out, so he might get some more opportunity. But still go with Komet.
Jean Nicolas is saying non-PPR 2 running backs out of Jones, Pollard, or Stevenson.
Yeah, pick 2. So I'd go definitely Stevenson. And that's Aaron Jones. Who's Aaron Jones?
Oh yeah, it was Aaron. Yeah, my brain was like, who's Jones? I'm assuming Aaron Jones.
Yeah, so I would probably go Aaron Jones and Ramondre Stevenson with Zeke coming back.
Yeah, I'm with you. Okay, Eric wants to know Christian Watson or DJ Moore. Ooh, yeah.
Christian Watson.
I hate DJ Moore. I'm with you. Corey wants to know he has Allen Robinson, Devonta Smith, or Amari Cooper. Poor guy lost Cooper Kupp last week, so he's got to start 2 of those. So who are you going to set? He was leaning away from Cooper because of snow, but now that's not a problem. Robinson, Smith, or Cooper?
It's between Smith and Cooper. Smith can disappear a lot. I mean, Cooper can disappear a lot as well.
You can start 2.
Robinson,
right?
Oh, I can start 2. So I'm probably gonna go Amari Cooper and Devonta Smith. Probably. I'm not confident in that. I'm not confident in that offense.
I think this is one of those where I would type, I'm going to say Cooper and Robinson because no matter which 2 I pick, the other one's going to score a lot of points. And Allen Robinson's got it. Someone's got to get the Cooper spot. It's him or Van Jefferson, so I'm going to roll my dice this week. I'm starting him in a couple places. Okay, Mark, our boy from high school, wants to know Allen Robinson, Van Jefferson, or Skolnick to benefit from Cooper being out. That was the question we were having. So which one of those 3 do you?
I'd pick Robinson out of the group.
Like,
Probably.
Van Jefferson's interesting. See how he looked good last week. But yeah, I picked Robinson because experience. They might have to move because they were playing him where they were playing him. Maybe they move him up unless they put Van Jefferson in that cup role, which would stink. But then his question for himself is Brown Robinson against the Houston's run defense or Tyler Boyd in the flex spot.
I'm probably going to go Brian Robinson here. I mean, he gets like you said, he's getting a full workload at this point. Hopefully, he gets a touchdown. He needs a touchdown though.
Derek says, "Do I?" Where did that? He threw it on both. We're being trolled. Vance says, "Komet or Knox?"
Oh, commit. Knox terrible.
Slayton, Mike Williams, Hardwell, Valdez, Scantlin.
Hardman.
Us in the flex.
That's a tough one.
DJ.
If Mike Williams plays, I'm gonna go Mike Williams there.
Me too. But what if he doesn't? Because Hardman also has been him and Juju have been out as well, so he's got something. I forget it was an ankle or something, but I forget what I mean.
It'd be between Slayton and Gus, and if Gus was the guy in Baltimore, I'd probably give it to him.
I think Drake's the guy in Baltimore. I might start Slayton. I think if it's not Mike Williams. Tom wants to know, he grabbed Christian Watson on waiver, or would he stick with Allen Lazard?
You know what? You know how much I like Allen Lazard, but Allen Lazard can only give you so much. I think Christian Watson offers that boom game. Now he also offers you maybe a potential like 0 type game. But I don't think so.
9 cruddy games and 1 boom game, right?
Yeah. So I mean, I'll pick Christian Watson here just for the boom game.
I'll go with Lazard if you're trying to be safe. And our last one, James wants to know: Kadarius,
here we go. This is
Kadarius, Tony, or Christian Watson?
Yeah, I mean,
so we're looking at boom. It'd be booms there. They're both booms.
This one, yeah. I mean, you know what? I'm either one of those. I wouldn't be. I mean, I'd try to start both of those honestly somehow.
I'd start Tony.
See if I could fit them both in. I mean, I'd start. Yeah, I mean, I'd definitely start Tony and Watson. I mean, if they're playing, the Packers are playing like they were last week. If they can get that kind of mojo going, it's be tough.
Cool stat I saw: Kadarius Toney had the most wide open touchdown in what was it, 10 years or something like that. It was that far back. He was like 26 yards away from the closest defender to score that touchdown last week.
He's gonna get a lot of those in that offense.
Yeah. Okay. Eli Mitchell or Ramondre?
Ramondre Stevenson. Yeah, I'll go Ramondre.
Bye weeks we have going on this week are the Jaguars, the Dolphins, the Seahawks, the Buccaneers. So you're going to be missing a running back and possibly a quarterback and receiver from the Jaguars. The Dolphins, you're missing both those receivers. So basically, if you're in my league, it doesn't matter because I got all the guys. 2 receivers and a quarterback, and the running backs here are looking pretty decent. Seattle, you're missing Geno, both receivers, and Kenneth Walker. There's some holes here going on. In the Buccaneers, you're missing no one that you probably were playing anyway because you're just so mad at them anyway. You probably have Rashad White you're getting excited about that you're missing, and you know they have tons of players, but it doesn't feel as painful this week, does it?
It doesn't. But I mean, if you look at it, I mean, it's still pretty bad. I mean, people are kind of like used to the bads at this point, like the newness of so they've kind of worked their way around it, so it's not as bad.
I already got spanked by the bats, so I'm not too worried about it anymore.
Yeah.
And now a message from our favorite sponsor.
Underdog Fantasy is the best and easiest place to play fantasy sports. Now that we are in season, they offer even more fantasy sports options. You can choose to play 4 to 6 round draft contests with up to 10 people. You can even create your own private draft room.
And that's not all. Underdog also offers pick'em fantasy contests where you decide if players will go higher or lower than a listed stat line, from touchdowns to yards to interceptions and many more. It's a fun way to show your fantasy prowess. Sign up now with the code Couriers, and they'll double your first deposit up to $100 in bonus cash.
And just in case you missed that, when you make your first deposit of $10 or more, deposit $100, get $100 free.
And with their slick mobile app and user-friendly website, you'll have no problem jumping in and drafting your squad or making your best picks.
So join Underdog today, and don't forget to use the code Couriers. A link is in the notes of the podcast.
Now back to the podcast. Game by game preview. right, we're doing a speed thing through the game, and each game we're going to pick one topic and see what comes from that discussion as we're going through. We got the Titans versus the Packers Thursday night. This will be null and void if you're listening to us Friday, but we're going to focus on the receivers in this game. Which receiver do you see? Okay, yeah, look at the face he's giving me. I was getting excited there.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead. I mean, you pick whatever you want to talk about.
Running backs are too easy. Like, why would you Aaron Jones and Derrick?
I was just giving you the ugly face for the wide receivers because it's kind of an ugly wide receiver room on both sides of it.
That's sort of the point there. So if you're stuck in that bye week drudge and you don't, and we're going to throw, since you're in love with Christian Watson, you throw him out. Is Christian Watson and Alan Lazard the only option tonight, right?
Yeah, they would be the guys that I would roll with.
This game is just gross, so I'm just going to move on. Bears versus the Falcons. Running backs there. Those are two backs you might have both in your team. Cordero Patterson or David Montgomery. And we're not counting because Algier is going to be in there. But if you had to pick between those two backs on your team to be your number 2 running back.
It's got to be Montgomery after what Patterson was going through. I mean, they're not really giving the ball last week. And like I said, Montgomery's going to get the full workload. You got to go with him. It's just nobody there to compete. Patterson has competition.
Seems
I feel like Patterson though.
Running back theme going on here. Panthers and Ravens. They both have like those running backs you got off waivers at some point. And you're lucky to have, but they can also give you duds. I mean, Foreman had his great games only against the Falcons. He's been okay otherwise, and then pooped to the bed. And then you got Drake and Gus Bus there, and Drake looks like he's got more, but Gus Bus is better. You got those guys on your team, and you need a flex spot. Which one of those guys are you going to throw in there?
I think I'm going to go with Foreman just because I don't know what's going to happen in Baltimore. If Gus is going to play, it'd be more of a split backfield. I think Donta Foreman has more control of the backfield in Carolina than either one of the Baltimore Ravens do. And plus they don't have a running quarterback that also takes rushing yards.
I would throw in Drake. I would be maybe by an inch. I think Drake with the defense being a little better on Baltimore than it is on Carolina, and Carolina just bleeds in the running game. So
yeah, I mean maybe, but there's an opportunity. Foreman gets like 20 to 25 carries
for 60 yards
and a couple touchdowns. I mean, he's been effective.
I was trying to be contrarian. I'd probably start him.
That's fine.
The Browns and the Bills. Josh Allen, give me a stat line for Josh Allen in a dome on Sunday with a UCL. What's going to happen?
I think it's probably going to be like a 325 and like 3 to 4 touchdown game. Like we pound passing. I don't know if the rushing is going to be there. I might not have to because he's going to be able to throw it all over the place. But I think he finally gets back on track and gets back to the Josh Allen that we were looking at before.
So that throws him like QB4 for the week because he doesn't run.
He's a top five QB. Yeah. As always. I mean, it's not really big.
Commanders versus the Texans. Ooh, this is a nice, disgusting, terrible game. Bye weeks abounding. You have Heineke and Davis Mills that you need for a QB2 for a Superflex team.
Gotta go. I want to say Davis Mills, but the Commanders are kind of on a roll, but it's not like Heineke's playing great. He had 170 yards and an interception last week. David Mills does that like every week. So I think the upside, if you need a big game, I think Mills is the way to go. But if you just need somebody, I mean, it's a toss-up between each of them. But I can only imagine what I got to listen to on the radio if the Commanders win this week. It's going to be Super Bowl or bust.
They're so good. Yeah, I'm with you on Heine because I think he has more people to throw to, and the Texans more than likely give Pierce the ball closer down, or Benjamin. No. We're going with the Eagles versus the Colts. Barf. The Eagles are going to roll the Colts as a comeback game, or Jonathan Taylor takes the Eagles to the woodshed.
Didn't we also say that the Eagles and Commanders was gross and that the Commanders literally had no chance? So can't really say that they don't have a chance at this point. Jonathan Taylor might have another big game that they can control the clock. Their defense, the Colts defense is okay. I think it's going to be a closer game than most people think.
All How
I mean,
about
plus the Eagles lose a tight end, and evidently their receivers aren't 100% healthy. So I mean, we gotta look at that too. I don't know if I'm 100% right on that, but I did hear something. So just keep that in mind.
let's look at the division where all the teams are above 500. One of them, the AFC East. All teams within 2 games. We have the Jets battling the Patriots. The Jets win. They're tied for first place with the surging Miami Dolphins. The Patriots win. They've tied with the Jets for second place. In this game, it's two teams that can run the ball fairly decent. Which running game would you rather have in fantasy this week? It's in New England. Is there
Jets defense is playing really, really good. But the Patriots are the Patriots, and this could be a game where Zach Wilson has -7 points. I can see that happening.
Mac Jones too, right?
Yeah, Mac Jones could have, and they could just be running the ball all over the place. And I think Ramondre Stevenson is probably the better running back out of the group at this moment. So I'd rather have the New England's running game.
Ramondre is not available. Which running back fits in the 2 hole? Is it Robinson, Carter, or Harris?
I'd probably go Michael Carter probably right now.
Those defenses, like just running on those, is just gonna be terrible. Like this is gonna be
Yeah,
like
I mean,
42. It's gonna be a baseball score, and
this
they
could
put
be,
up
but
40
there's
now.
gonna be a lot of there's gonna be a lot of runs.
We're going the Rams versus the Saints, two teams that we thought would be a ton better with lots of receiver injuries. We have Matt Stafford coming back from the concussion. Who's a better play for a super flex quarterback, Andy Dalton or Matthew Stafford?
Probably will go Andy Dalton. I don't trust the Rams.
Wow.
They lose.
No.
I mean, they lose Cup. They got no run game. The offensive line is terrible. Stafford is hurt all the time. I don't know if his arm is even close to being good. At least Andy Dalton has been somewhat like respectable. So I'm gonna give it to Andy Dalton.
Wow, look at that. Okay, Giants and the Lions at the Giants. That's why they can play in Detroit. We're looking at a battle of one team that we think is terrible, one team that we know is terrible. But you got to start a quarterback from this game. Jared Goff, who slings the ball. Daniel Jones, who runs and throws the ball sometimes.
I'm gonna go Daniel Jones. I'll go Daniel Jones.
I miss not being
I
able
mean,
to play anymore.
honestly, I think they'll both end up with the same amount of points by the time the game's over with. But if I'm going into the game, I'm starting Daniel Jones. Jared Goff is so gross.
Raiders and the Broncos, they were supposed to be good, right?
They both suck.
Yeah,
The AFC West is trash.
I know. Remember how I was excited? I was like, just watch the late game.
Yeah,
It's going to be great. Like, I don't even want to mention them. They've let me down so much that I'm going to say Raiders and Broncos. See you later. Cowboys and the Vikings.
Yeah.
Cowboys and the Vikings, man. This is the game of the week, correct?
Yeah, I'd say it's the game of the week. Yeah.
Who's going to be the star? Like, so this game is filled with superstars. Who is going to step up and win this game and be the best player that outshines this game for their team?
I'm gonna go CD Lamb. I mean, that's just because
I needed CD. He's growing on me.
I need CD Lamb to play big because again he's going up against you this week with Cole Kmet. So I'm hoping CD Lamb pops off again. I think he's been playing better. Seems to be the guy now. He seems to be catching the balls instead of dropping them. So I think CD Lamb is going to be the guy.
And I say that I agree. That was my answer because Justin Jefferson goes off every week and his team still loses when he goes off. So they win when he goes off. I mean, they only lost one, but throughout history, he's not the X factor. Cook is generally the X factor for that team. So it'd be CeeDee Lamb and Cook on both teams. Bengals versus the Steelers. Who would have thought the Bengals they'd be sitting where they are? Okay, pick a receiver.
I'm still going to go T. Higgins here. George Pickens might be. I just don't think George Pickens gets enough work. Yeah, he doesn't really get enough work. So I think it's T. Higgins and then maybe Deontay Johnson. But after Higgins, it's a crapshoot.
Yep. Chiefs versus the Chargers, the only two teams in the AFC West with a winning record. Any chance Justin Herbert has a better week than Patrick Mahomes?
No chance. That's what they got. So, there's zero,
That
I don't
guy,
think
they
there's
had to retire that.
yeah, I don't think there's any chance there.
If you had to start one receiver in that game, that's a double question. Sorry, since I skipped the one. Pick a receiver from this game to start.
Kadarius Toney, man. Go
Okay,
for it.
49ers at the Cardinals is Monday night game. Kyler Murray or Jimmy Garoppolo to close out our day.
How is that a tough question, right? But the 49ers the 49er defense is finally playing. I mean, I feel like that team is finally coming together. They got all their pieces back. They're healthy. They like the ground and pound. I think it's going to be tough for Kyler Murray. Um, but I still say it's going to be Kyler just because I don't think there's enough volume there for Jimmy Garoppolo to do what he's got to do.
Unless he throws 3 touchdowns to Christian McCaffrey.
Or 3 touchdowns to Brandon Ayuk. I don't care.
Or who's Debo? Where'd Debo go? I don't know.
I don't care about Debo. I don't got him anywhere.
Me either. Okay, get us out of here, dude. Let's have a good week.
Yeah. So just another quick reminder. I got to pop up in another league. That one of my leagues with the trade deadline is this week. So I just remember stay upon that because if you don't know, we also with Bourbon. We found out the Bourbon League is what the 24th. The night we said the night before Thanksgiving. So yeah, just make sure you're staying on that. If you still got time to trade, go out there and trade. If you're going to win a championship, it might be the only way you can do it. So as always, trust yourself and trust the process.